Monday, we told you about two hikers who were rescued in Sabino Canyon near Seven Falls, just a day after 7 people were rescued in the very same area.
13 News reporter Renee Romo joins us live from Sabino Canyon. And Renee, you spoke with a few hikers, including one of the men who was rescued Monday, about the trails. What did they have to say?
Well, Mary, Brooke, the lack of mile markers and trail maintenance in the area are an issue. But according to one man who trains and prepares hikers for these trails, says it's not all that unusual.
Stephen and Tiffany Bowser from Florida told me Monday they got lost on their hike due to no trail markers and poorly maintained trails. And considering the heat, they turned around and ended up overshooting the original trail they started on by a lot. They told me if they hadn't turned back when they did, they likely would have been the next hikers to be rescued. But the main thing they wanted to get across is that the issue shouldn't have happened in the first place.
But the fact that there was no markings, no trail markers at all, made it dangerous for somebody coming in from out of town, and they just wanted to take a couple mile hike along the trail and just come back here and have an enjoyable.
Marcel Sobchak, who had to be airlifted out of the Seven Falls area Monday, also told me the lack of trail markers and maintenance is what resulted in him getting stranded. I did reach out to the U.S. National Forest Service about these concerns, but they did not get back to me. However, Randy Aceta, owner of Run Tucson, an event production and run coaching company, is all too familiar with Sabino Canyon and tells me you can't rely on mile markers while on the trails, since it is the wilderness, but that doesn't mean there aren't other ways.
There's a handful of things we can do to be safe when we're hiking, walking, running out here. The first is to know where you're going, and so there are maps all over the base down here.
Paying attention to the maps can help you see how far the hike will be. Aceta also recommends using your phone. That means sharing your location with a loved one to be sure they can track you as you go. And if the physical maps at the trailheads are not enough, there are virtual maps you can use.
Trail forks, other people like All Trails, so you can go download apps and that'll have very specific routes and maps of all the terrain around here.
Now, Aceta also mentioned the rain that we've seen today and will continue to see from here on out. In fact, I actually saw a few hikers out here when it was raining. So if you're one of those people, be prepared for flash floods that can hit in an instant. Live from Sabino Canyon, Renee Romo, 13 News.